Rush tributes? Do you find them annoying? Or
what do you think of Rush tribute bands?
I wish I could hire them. I think it's great. It's a great compliment. You know, obviously I don't go out to watch them as a regular thing to do. Because that would be weird. But I'm very complimented by their very existence, I would say.
That'd be fantastic though. Someone going, oh, look at the back, it's just like Geddy Lee. Fuck off. Should all be their bass parts. Let's go to the back again. That gentleman with glasses. Hello. You look like Hitler. Stop it.
Evening.
Yeah, we want to thank you.
Hello, Ged. Just going to ask, is Rash going to release any material?
Do you want to put that in context for the people who don't know?
Well, Rash was, it's hard to explain Rash.
The disco spirit of radio.
Yeah, Rash is a different version of us. The alternate version of Rush in the early days that we created for comedic purposes. I can't really speak to the future of Rash.
Go on. I would not want to. Somebody else? Let's go over this gentleman in the red shirt. Hello.
Question about gear.
About what?
About gear.
What, cocaine? No, now it's the 70s all over.
About the looking back at 48.
Oh, no. What? No. Do you want to answer about your looking back at bass? Does anybody want to hear about the looking back at bass?
Yeah!
Fine, go on.
About the Man, the Rickenbacker bass will be discussed. No, I'm not going to use it on the next tour because I pulled it out and it just doesn't sound as good as my jazz.
There'll be tears before bedtime. You in the middle left, hello. Go on.
Right, Geddy, you've got such a vast amount of material to pick from and put all together. Can you describe a little bit about the process about how you arrive at songs you can play? You have to explain how some of the songs seem to fall away quite quickly, particularly from the later albums. They don't seem to get a chance to establish themselves in the set.
Yeah, it's, you know what, it's one of the hardest things to do is to come up with a set list, frankly. And because we get so many requests for bringing back older songs, and yet of course we're most excited about playing the newer songs. And so you want to pay respect to your own past at the same time, you know, you don't want to feel like you're just, you know, living in the past. So it's a delicate balance. So Alex and I usually sit down and start listening to the records, the older ones, laughing a lot, and crying a little bit. And, you know, we just kind of talk about, you know, what we could do with this song and that song. And then Neil does the same thing with the paramedics. And then usually when we start rehearsals, the show is about 4 hours. And we slowly whittle it back to an unreasonable 3-hour one.
Is that okay? Yeah. Jimmy Hendrix's mic. Let's go out here. That gentleman there, go on.
Film question.
No, it's behind you. We'll come back in a second, so I'll let you hat.
Aren't you in the film?
Yeah, you're in the film.
It's Alex Mason.
You're in the film too, aren't you?
We just want to be able to just like say thank you very much. We went through all your fan footage and you choose the guy to follow Geddy's whereas some of our fans are real, some of them are quite intense. And to Geddy, I slightly apologise for outplaying you with my therapies.
That's easy though. The gentleman in the hat, go on, 'cause he was next.
I just like to point out one inaccuracy on the.
Oh, I'm sorry, it came to you.
You've actually got Sebastian Bach's ugly twin sister there.
We're actually thinking that a really cool contest for Rush fans would be to spot the incontinuities in the film, because there are a few. And if anyone knows time signatures,
This guy knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the footage was like late 70s when we talk about mid 70s, but that's not what I was going to say.
But then we realized it'd be a really bad idea because you'd find more than we know of, and that would make us look really bad. So enough.
No, you've had a question. No. Sorry, too many people. You left the.
Yeah, I get. I'm going to ask, would you consider to be your most complicated bass line?
Your most complicated bass line.
Thanks. Hard to say, really. They're all to learn. Far Cry was tough to learn. It's one thing to just play it in the studio, it's another thing to sing and play it. So that was a toughie.
There were times when there's one of the kind of 80s tours where you're doing keyboards, bass pedals, bass, and singing, and pushing your glasses back on your nose. I remember thinking, that's tough. Why would you do that?
As Tim Comfort pointed out, which was one of my favorite things he said, was about my ability to adjust my mic stand.
It's a blessing. You thought it was a curse.
Multi-talented. I do it every night.
Let's go here.
Hi. The Banger Film has been responsible for bringing some terrific films to the silver screen for us, so thank you very much. This is a terrific example of that. A film that came out a couple of years ago was about not so successful Canadian about Anvil. I'm assuming filmmakers and Geddy have seen it. What do you think of it?
Oh, I loved it. It's almost as good as our film.
It was a very memorable email we actually got from Geddy during the process of making Beyond the Light of the Stage. And it was after we'd done the little community tour of Willowdale in the old neighborhood. And Geddy emailed us and said, "Oh, incoming. Guys, I saw this Anvil film and it's the same neighborhood. And I'm really, I'm kind of worried. It's kind of the same story." I'm like, "Really, Geddy, it's not the same story. Don't worry about it."
It was the same delicatessen.
Welcome back to the UK. Thank you.
Let's go over here. That lady there. Hello.
Hello. You know that scene in that cafe? Getting his lady to sign his thing, or sorry, the lady asking for his autograph, and Alex was sitting there. Was that real, or did you stage that?
That was real. And I must say, a very common occurrence.
I wish you could hear that now. You wouldn't even know you'd see it. You'd be like, "Where's that bloke? Get off the stage." Let's take you there, that gentleman. Got some glasses.
Does it get harder or easier to play songs as you get older?
Can your fingers keep up, Geddy?
Actually, it's a good question. The singing part of the show gets harder, and which is why my days off are very, very boring, because I can't really talk. But I've noticed on this tour in particular that the playing aspect, all three of us have just been playing, I think the best that we've ever played on tour. I can't really explain that other than old age has been good to us. So far I have seen no deterioration in that regard.
A couple more. You there, sir, the beard and the glasses?
Yeah, have you ever been approached to do a movie soundtrack or something like that? Is that something that the band would be interested in doing?
Yeah, some things have come along in the past, and either we're crazy about the film, or we didn't have the time. And I think it is something that we would consider if the time was right. I mean, I don't know if it's so much something you do as a band or individually. Alex done some soundtrack work in the past, television soundtrack work, so I know he enjoys that.
Yes, he does, doesn't he? He likes showing off.
Yeah,
He's good cook too. One more question, I'm sorry to say. That gentleman there teaches that one. Make it a good one, no selection.
On the Snake Sourdough, we've heard the song Lazy Masters, which is, as far as I know, the only disaster that you've had in fretless bass. Are there going to be any more work that you've had in fretless bass?
Well, it's really hard to play a fretless bass. So I'm trying to avoid it publicly, but I rehearse it when I'm warming up every night. I warm up on the fretless just to try to get better at it. So it's definitely possible. So,
Should we take one more? Can I have one more? I'm not asking you, I'm asking the lady at the back. We can have one more. If she says no, you can kill her. Let's go to the back. There's a gentleman up there. Yes, you can go last in the nicest possible way. You're welcome. Don't fuck up. I won't be the first to say that. I'm glad someone else did.
Just wondering, when Neil hands you a sheet of
it's interesting. It's changed over the years. In the old days, when the three of us were in one room without tape recorders and just kind of figuring the songs out, we all had a lot of opinions on what everyone else was doing. And even though that still takes place, it's quite a different process now. So he hands me, 4 or 5 sheets of lyrics that are in a fairly finished state. I wouldn't say they're finished, but they look like songs, or at least a semblance of a song. And he just leaves it with Alex and I start working on music. And sometimes there's a natural fit. Like sometimes there's a piece of lyric that just seems to tell you the kind of melody that it wants, and it's a natural flow. Other times there might be only 4 lines of a song that really, stand out, at which point I'll put that to music and then play it for him, and then that's when he starts, giving us his opinion of how the music and the lyric, marry. So there are different ways that we go about it, but it's become more and more separated as time's gone on.
And I'm sorry to say, ladies and gentlemen, the clock is, the time machine has beaten us. Do you want to go? Of course.
Has Neil watched the film yet? I have no idea. He hasn't mentioned it.
Oh, that was cold.
I think he's afraid to.
He's got a spaceship, mate. They don't deep like.
I know his wife saw it and really loved it, but I think he's a bit afraid of watching it.
In case he's out of time. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. This has been Sam and Scot, Geddy Lee.